Hey guys, it's Nija. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about something, and I am currently outside, so hopefully this isn't like too super awkward. I've never actually tried to record like out here like this before. We're gonna try it today and we're gonna see how it works out. I usually don't like to because it's like super noisy and I don't know. We're gonna see how it works out. So today's video, this is a really interesting topic today, and I was really contemplating like not talking about this, but then I was like, I made this channel to be as authentically me and show, I guess, my process. I know this video was important because so many of you guys asked me, Nija, what do you believe in? What's your belief system? Why are you so positive? Like, why are you so happy, so chipper? Like, what do you believe in? And I'm just like, you guys, it has nothing to do with what I believe in, you know? I mean, it kind of does. I want to be a positive person because that's what makes me feel good, but it's not about I'm in this religion so I'm a positive person. It's just I've decided that I want to be a positive person, and that's how I just wanted to live my life. So yeah, so I want to talk to you guys about how the law of attraction helped me to realize that life isn't so predetermined, okay? Like, we all have the opportunity, we all have the power to, we all have the free will to make things happen for ourselves in our lives. We all, like, you don't just have to let life happen to you. You can be the creator, you can hold the paintbrush, you can co-create with God or with spirit or with, you know, whatever you believe in, whoever you believe in. And it's only a touchy subject because when you talk about things like religion and belief systems and things like that, people get a little bit, I guess, testy, or like you don't want to like push their buttons. And this video is in no way me trying to push anyone's buttons. This is literally me sharing my personal experience, my personal life. This is not me trying to tell you your beliefs are wrong or incorrect or anything like this. I'm not trying to share my beliefs and tell you that you should believe it too, that you should follow it too. Believe what you want. I tell everyone this, believe what you want, and I don't care what God you pray to. And this is why in my videos you'll usually hear me interchange the words God, the universe, yourself, if you're atheist and don't have like higher power beliefs. Like, you know, it doesn't really matter to me. I accept everyone, and I really wish that we lived in a society that was a little more accepting. And it's just kind of annoying and redundant and repetitive that everyone always has to put out these disclaimers in the beginning of their videos before they talk about anything religious or spiritual or whatever. But that's my 2 cents. I can live with me at the end of the day, and I hope that you all can live with yourselves and your life choices. And I just pray that no one judges other people or judges me. Like, you can judge me if you want to, but at the end of the day, like I said, I'm okay with me. This video, now that we can get into the actual video, this video is me talking a little bit about my spirituality, which I've never done on my channel before for a few reasons, but also because I never really felt super connected enough to say anything, I guess, or to share my beliefs and feel like I knew what I was talking about, or share my beliefs, period. Like, honestly, sharing your beliefs is not something that you have to do, and is not something that is required of you to do. Like, when you meet someone, you have to say, hello, my name is Nija Sym, I believe in X, Y, and Z. You know, like, no one is asking for that, and no one's asking you for an explanation. But I just feel like it makes sense to share where I'm coming from, so that maybe it will bring a little bit of clarity when you guys are watching my videos, the kind of person that I am and where I come from. I grew up in a predominantly Christian household, predominantly Christian lifestyle. I lived a very sheltered life growing up. I was told that certain things are unacceptable or demonic or evil or wicked, and that is why we believe in one thing and not the other. And so this is not me trying to bash Christians by the way, I'm gonna keep saying this. This is just me sharing my personal experience, my life lessons, and my life journey, and sharing with you guys where I am today with my spirituality and religious practice and all that other fun stuff, okay? So yeah, I grew up in a religious background, very religious household. Certain things were definitely not acceptable. Certain things we're not allowed to talk about, not allowed to do, not allowed to watch, not allowed to say. I don't want to call it a restrictive lifestyle, but it definitely was very structured. This is how you act, and this is how you're supposed to think, and this is how you're supposed to feel, and this is why you're supposed to pray, and this is why you're supposed to pay tithes, and this is why you're supposed to X, Y, and Z. Like I said, this is not me trying to come after anybody's religious beliefs. This is me sharing my experience. So I grew up very religious, and I thought I thought I knew what being Christian was. I thought I knew what having a relationship with God was, and I thought I knew indefinitely this is who X, Y, and Z is in my life, or whatever. And I went into my college years, or my early adulthood, feeling very confused, because for the first time in my life I didn't have to go to church if I didn't want to. And then I started to realize that a lot of the things that I was taught growing up, not even that I don't believe in it, but I don't necessarily care for it. Like, I just felt like I was just holding all this information that really didn't mean anything to me. Like, it didn't resonate with me, you know? Like, I was living this lifestyle that did not suit me and did not serve me, and started to make me feel guilty, like I'm missing something. Like, I felt like a hole in me. Like, I have the knowledge, I have the Bible, I have this information, I go to church, I fellowship with these people, but at the end of the day I go home and I have more questions than I have answers. And like I said, this is not a religious debate. I'm not debating with anybody on anything. I think it's a beautiful thing, religion, and everyone believing in their own, like finding your own thing that resonates with you and sits well with you. Having a God of your own understanding is more important than pleasing the masses, you know? So just because people tell you you have to believe in God, you have to go to church, you have to pray 10 times a day, or whatever the case may be, just know that you're allowed to find your own path, and you're allowed to find your own way. So said all that to say, I went into my adulthood very confused about religion and things like that, and that caused me to walk away from God. And that was a very scary time in my life. And I just want to say now, now that I have now that I've passed that journey of who am I, where am I, why am I here, what's the point, what's the purpose, who created everything, you know, once I passed that point, I was able to find a God of my own understanding that wasn't judgmental or harsh or demanding, or basically just a few things that organized religion or the church taught me that having a relationship with God was supposed to be. Not saying that this is right for everyone, not saying that every church has this problem, not saying that this is not, me saying this is not a one size fits all, okay? This is me sharing my personal life experience. I can't say that enough. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, I started to really question, like, who is God to me? Like, is it this Christian God? Is it any kind of God? Do I even believe in God? Like, I feel so lost and so confused, and I started to get angry because I thought, well, if there is a God, I feel like I should be able to talk to you. I feel like I should be able to communicate to you. I feel like there's something higher than me that I should be able to tap into. And being a Christian was telling me, don't look into that. Don't look into this. Don't read that. Don't watch that. Don't find out about that. Be happy where you are. Be secure in this book. Be secure in this information that I have given to you. Learn to regurgitate this information I had given to you. And I was like, no. no, that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't resonate with me, you know? Like, I want to be a good person. I want to have good morals. I want to have good values, but that was not serving me, you know? Like, that lifestyle, I felt like I was a good person, but I felt so unfulfilled on a spiritual level. Like, I had all this information. I knew that I was supposed to pray. I knew I was supposed to go to church. I knew I wasn't supposed to listen to this and listen to that, or expose myself to this and that. But it didn't feel like it fed me spiritually. I didn't feel like I was connected to anything. I felt alone. I felt like if I prayed, I can't hear anything. Like, where are my ancestors, my guides, my spirit animals? Like, who the heck am I supposed to talk to here, you know? And this is around the time that I learned about the law of attraction, which, by the way, you guys, there's like a misconception that the law of attraction is like a religion. It's not a religion, it's a belief system. And even when saying a belief system, it's literally just your mindset and deciding to view the world one way as opposed to the other. So it's not a religion, it's not a cult, it's not voodoo, it's not witchcraft, it's not anything like that. The law of attraction is just the way the world works if you choose to think in a more positive way, is how I like to explain it. I'm just gonna cut to the chase and say that on my spiritual journey, and now I call it a spiritual journey as opposed to a religious journey, because I don't currently identify with a religion, but I know that I am an extremely spiritual person. I feel more connected to more than myself than I ever have in my lifetime. That I was told in my upbringing was wrong or demonic or satanic or just wrong, just not, you don't do that, you don't dip your hands in that, and that is using tarot cards. And this is me sharing with the world that I guess have experience now reading tarot cards. And I had been reading tarot since December of 2017. So I had been like studying up on it a little bit, like aggressively trying to learn about it, because it's very interesting to me. I think the entire idea is very interesting to me, and I think that there's something to this. Started to inquire or ask questions with my tarot cards. And I would like just start simple, like just asking questions about myself, and then I would keep a journal, and this is actually the exact journal that I use. This is my journal that I write down all of my tarot card readings and like everything that I've learned about tarot and stuff like that. I just keep a journal of it, because when I was doing research, a lot of people had suggested you should keep a journal, so I keep a journal. And this is where the story, like this is where me talking about my boyfriend and how I found out that he cheated on me, my tarot cards actually told me before it happened. And I know like the skeptics are gonna be like, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. Girl, bye. It happened. I'm sorry to disappoint you skeptics, but it did happen. And I bookmarked the pages, because like first when I had gotten the information from the cards, I was just like, okay, who cheated? There's a betrayal. I got the same 7 of Swords. I said, okay, who cheated? Do I cheat on him? Does he cheat on me? Do we cheat in life? Like, are we cheating the system? Are we stealthy? Like, what does this mean? And I didn't understand it at the time, but I wrote it out, and I'm gonna read it to you now. This is what I wrote, and I also date it. I always date it. So yeah, I'm sharing something super personal. If you guys are going to criticize, I would just say just leave this part, like just leave this part. But I wanted to share you guys, like there could be a little bit of truth to this. I'm just saying. So the note that I had written myself after a tarot reading that I did, and it was July 22nd, 2018, and it was, Dear Nija, according to this reading and my intuition, there has been a betrayal regarding the lovers that will lead to a transition, transformation, and death of an old love situation. And I wrote that, like I said, July 22nd, 2018. And then I was like, whoa, this is a big download, this is a lot of information. And I was like, maybe I can get my boyfriend to pull some cards and confirm this for me. So he gets off of work and I give him my deck of cards and I say, babe, will you just shuffle this and just pick a few cards that, you know, look cool to you. And so I give him the deck facing down and he starts shuffling the cards a little bit, and then he drops the deck, and then the card, the Seven of Swords, falls out of the deck, and everything, all the other cards are like back facing, like you can't see the face of the card. They're just laying on the ground, back facing, all scattered. But the only card that was front facing, and I wonder if I can find it really quickly, because this is the deck, this is my first tarot deck, but this is also the deck that I'm talking about that he got the card in. It was this card right here. This card right here, the Seven of Swords. Okay, and for some of you guys, it may be your first time seeing a tarot card. So look at that. Look at that. I think the illustrations of this deck is so beautiful. By the way, side note, the illustrations of this deck are so beautiful. This is the Empress card, by the way. So yeah, so you can just see a little bit of the artwork and stuff, because there's some people, like I know me before, and this is me where I had to eat my words. In my paranormal experience video, I was a little freaked out by one of my old friends who had told me that they read tarot cards. My friend Ed goes to eat and she's like, hey, are we still gonna read our tarot cards tonight? And I'm just like, are we gonna what? Like, I'm black, we don't do that, I don't believe in that. I mean, I do believe in that, but that's why we don't do that, okay? You're not gonna get me all caught up in these crazy things. No, I don't do it. And I was, I would use the word afraid. I would use the word I was a skeptic. I would use the word I was fearful that they were into something dark and demonic. And you can still have negative energy attached to you and not be into dark and demonic stuff, if that makes sense. And I think that that's what I was feeling in that video, not necessarily because of the tarot cards, but just people have different energies attached to them. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go see my paranormal experience video, or my first paranormal experience video, where I basically tell you that I was freaked out by my friend because she told me that she uses tarot cards. So yeah, I'm eating my words. I use tarot cards now too. I think there's definitely something to them. I don't feel like I am being evil or talking to the devil when I'm using tarot cards. I feel as if, like, I pray and I set the intention that only the only entities of love and life and positivity and high positive vibrations and for my highest and greatest good and all that good stuff, that energy will be present for me and come through to me through my cards, and not low negative energy, low negative entities, demons and all that other nonsense. Like, I promise you, I'm still a little bit frightened of that stuff, and I promise you I'm not the one to be calling on that stuff. So take it from me. It's not all evil, it's not all dark, it's not all secretive. Well, it is a little bit secretive because we live in a society that will condemn you for trying to learn more information. But what I love about this day and age and about YouTube is that there are so many people out here who are like, no, I'm not going to be afraid to share my experience, and I'm not going to be afraid to break the mold and believe in something different and choose my own path and come to understanding on my own terms, and not because you gave me this information and said I had to believe this. And so yeah, that is my story about how I knew my boyfriend was going to cheat on me before it happened. And this was actually the first time that this is my first time that the first experience, like the first clear, vivid experience that my tarot cards had warned me about something before it happened. Now, tarot is only a divination tool. It is, and this is how I will explain it. And I probably should have explained it like this, or probably should have explained this in the beginning. This is how I see it. As you're shuffling your cards, okay, there is no perfect way to shuffle. There is no perfect way to like, there's no perfect way to touch and interact with your cards. Like, we all get like so choked up in, how am I supposed to shuffle? Like, am I supposed to shuffle like this, or am I supposed to shuffle like this? And you know, we all get caught up in this stupid superficial stuff. But it's like, you receive a card for a reason. Whatever card you receive it for a reason. And this is not me trying to teach you guys about tarot. Like I said, I don't believe I'm qualified enough to teach anybody a thing. This is just what I have, this is just from my personal experience. But if you want to learn more about tarot, there are millions and millions and millions of people on YouTube or in blog communities that will tell you exactly what you want to know. Make sure that you find a good teacher. Find someone who has similar ideas and beliefs that you do. Don't get lost in the world of spirituality, because there is so much information to be absorbed and you don't want to be a sponge to the wrong information. So yeah, how I see it, you shuffle the cards, you get your energy into the cards, you set your intention of what you want to know or better understand as you're shuffling the cards. You receive a card. Sometimes it's for you and sometimes it's not. This is where it's up to your intuition. You have to internally like see the card. First you have to study them and learn what they all mean, but you see the card and you try and see, where does that fit into my life? Where does that, like, where can I see that in my life right now? And it really is just you intuitively like taking the cards and forming a message that makes sense to you, that you understand, that you feel at peace with. And sometimes the message comes from yourself, your inner guide, your spirit, and sometimes the information comes from your ancestors or those who have passed before you, but you're connected somehow and they love you and want the best for you and want to see you succeed on your journey. Sometimes the information comes from our angels or our guides. Literally, it's whatever you believe in, whoever you think the information or downloads come from. It's all about your beliefs. If you want to say, if you believe that it comes from God, believe it comes from God. There are Christian tarot readers, you know, so don't be super judgmental and don't feel like there's only one way to believe in something. Okay, I think I am rambling now and this video is going to be long as heck already, so I want to stop there. I want the conversation to continue though, so if you guys would, down in the comments below, as nicely as you can and as loving as you can, I am accepting questions, I'm accepting comments. What do you think about my video and what I've just told you guys? What do you think about tarot cards? What do you think about, I don't want to say about religion because it'll turn into an entire war in my comment zone, and I don't want to have to disable the comments because I love hearing what you guys have to say truthfully and honestly, you know? If you feel a little bit turned off by me now or by the information that I've just shared with you, just know that I am human just like you are. I am on my journey just like you might be, and you know, I feel like I am learning something not only about myself but about the way the world works, and about, like, I just feel like a little less helpless in this world. I feel like I have the power to make my life what I want it to be. If I want it to make it my dream life, I have the potential to make it my dream life. And that is where I am now with my spirituality. You know, I still pray. I read tarot cards to get a better understanding of a question or conflict I may have in my life. I also recently had gotten into crystals and their healing energy. Like, it's not me trying to be stereotypical. I just really want to grasp a hold of something real that makes sense to me, that resonates with my soul, that makes me feel a little more connected to God, and not just in a church setting but for myself on a personal level. And I feel like I'm achieving that. And to anyone who's mad at me for finding God in this way, like, I'm sorry, you know, like, as long as you know him to be true in your own way, like, why does it matter? And I want you guys to have that kind of strength and bravery when you go on your own pursuit to spiritual freedom, okay? And just know that I actually used to be very afraid to talk to my mom about me reading tarot cards, or like me learning about tarot cards and purchasing a set for myself. And come to find out, my mom is super accepting and understanding, and obviously still loves me. And you know, just because she never learned about this stuff, and she may have grown up thinking that stuff is evil or wicked because she grew up in a time where they weren't able to learn all this information, you know? And I am living in a time where I can find out this information, and I can share it with the older generation that may not understand or know, or have some stereotypes they're working through still. And so yes, I have told my mom, yes, she is accepting. She even let me do a little reading for her, and you know, she really just tried to understand, I guess, where I'm at now in my spiritual journey. She understands that I'm finding myself, and it's not in the traditional way, but it's also not in the wrong way either. And that is the message I would like to leave for you guys. Leave me comments, leave me likes if you enjoyed this content and you are like, thank you, Nija, for being brave and sharing this with us. It's not that it was hard for me to share this with you guys, it's just that I already know how the YouTube community can be and how the world can be very judgmental. But I'm not someone who someone says something mean to me and now I have to go hurt myself or I have to go cry about it. Like, I feel like I'm a little stronger than that. And you know, if you guys don't like the fact that I am doing what I'm doing, you know, there are lots of other channels of people out there who are into things that you might be into. And for those of you guys who feel a little connected to me on a different level now, thank you for accepting me and accepting this information that I've given you. And maybe you'll consider subscribing and sticking around and seeing where this little journey ends up. Okay, so thank you guys so much for listening to me talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. I know this video is going to be long as heck already. I love you guys, and I really appreciate being able to vent and have this platform to share this with you guys. So thank you for allowing me to. And that's all I have to say. Go follow me on Instagram at Nija Sym. Go subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.